Marcelo onto her left. Clip delivery into the box. It's first met by the head of Vertus. Turned over. A shot, and it's in the back of the net. A costly turnover. And Tampa Bay breaks the match open with a brilliant right-footed finish. Listro, what a ball over the top. First time effort trying to catch the goalkeeper off, and she does it. A brilliant finish at the tail end of our first half to double the lead for Tampa Bay. Flint forced backwards, a glance at the watch, scoops one over the top, dropped in for Haugen, keeps it in play, a dangerous ball in, parried away, first time shot makes it 3-0. Right before halftime, Tampa Bay inflict further damage and make it 3-0. A long ball over the top. Faking the first effort, the left-footed strike, the cherry on top. Hannah Keene, her first goal for the Sun, restores the 3-goal edge.
I think we're going to stick to focusing one game at a time. You know, it's important. I think momentum is important, and we're proud of the ladies to get back-to-back wins. But, you know, focusing on something that's out of our control is not going to help us, so we're just going to, you know, think about our next game and the next task at hand.
And then what's the message going into the next game to keep you guys kind of on the winning streak?
Yeah, I think that just looking at the phases of play that we've been successful in, I think we made a huge jump in our building. We've been successful in our press. We've been successful in our transition from attack to defend in our build. We probably, in the moment from defend to attack, I feel like we created like some really easy turnovers in the beginning of the game where we probably could have capitalized on them. So, you know, we'll work on those and get a little bit sharper in those moments, but I'm really proud of the ladies today. I think they fought hard and were focused, and they didn't take many breaks, and it really showed.
Yeah. Speaking about the defense, early you had some frustration with some not great calls, but did you take that frustration and turn that into goals? Because you kind of went on a little scoring streak. What was the difference between battling defensively versus the 3 goals in the first half?
You're saying like what was the change for us at halftime to like
before the half? Like what was the shift mentally? Like did you use that energy to put it in?
I just think I'm really proud of the ladies for staying focused. I think when you start focusing on the referees and you start focusing on the other team or believing that things aren't going your way, then, you know, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But, you know, I think that they didn't focus that on at all. I never heard them complaining about it. They weren't talking to one another. They popped up after fouls and played. So they allowed us to do our jobs, which is, you know, talk to the referees and try to get them to, you know, understand what we're seeing, but they stayed task focused, and it really showed.
Flu, for you, obviously you just got back from international play. How does that transition look for you from playing internationally to coming back here?
It's not like that different. It's nice to be with the national team, the U23, and like get a lot of playing time, and I think I got some really good inputs there that I can bring back home, and it helped me tonight, and hopefully it can help me going forward too.
Yeah, and then take me through kind of what you saw in your goal there.
On my goal, I saw Tash with a good ball to Dory, and she made a good cross for, I think it was like Carly or something. So I like kind of stayed for the second ball, and it dropped right to me, and I just had to tap it in.
Yeah, I feel like
some of the hardest goals though.
Yeah, you had some opportunities early. So what was the difference for you to be able to cash that one in?
I don't know.
I think Flo scored a bunch with her national team. She got 3 goals and assists. I mean, so I feel like she's a little bit on fire, you know. So we're glad we got that.
No
that
pressure
game.
for the next game.
I was gonna say you're gonna keep on fire.
Nope.
Awesome. So Hannah, obviously this was your first goal for the team. You're out with the injury. What does the recovery look like for you versus coming back? You made your first start in like a year last week, so
well, not a start, but to come in and have minutes at home. But I think I've never had a major injury, so it was definitely a new challenge for me. And I think about 10 months of the recovery was easy, but the last 2 months of like having to come back and play at such a high speed and such a high intensity is the hardest part of the whole thing. And so I don't think I'm back where I want to be, and I still think it's going to take time, but I'm so happy to get a goal and contribute in any way that I can to this team because we really need it right now. We want to make finals. We want a big push. We want lots of goals. We want teams to be afraid of us, and I'm just happy to be out there and able to help.
Yeah. Do you guys think you guys have a lot of weapons that other teams can be afraid of? And
I think we have the most weapons.
The most weapons. And you have more players like Hannah coming up, so.
Yeah. I think that's been a big difference for us. Our depth has been incredible off the bench. I mean, I wouldn't want to deal with Flo and Tosh to start with, and then you know, you get Hannah, Tank, and Zaid coming off the bench. Then that's not fun.
Yeah. And then, yeah, your goal kind of last minute, 89th minute. What was that? Can you walk me through what you saw in yours?
Well, I saw that Viv had the ball, and I saw her look up, and I think I was kind of in between the center backs, and I just was like, I'm over here if you want to try. And then I saw her like look down and wind up, and I was like, oh, she's going. And so she kicked the long ball. I ran after it. I think I'd had a few kind of poor touches before that, so I was really focused on having a good touch, and I saw the defender coming, and I think she thought I was just going to shoot it really hard with my right foot, so I did a kind of fake shot and then a cross. And then my favorite shot is that like just kind of passing it into the corner, so I knew I was going to do that before I kicked the ball, and I'm just really glad it went in.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful goal.
Yeah, I think you're being hard on yourself.
Always.